Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in Information Technology Software Engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
Morning. Morning. It's going to be a tough one today. It's going to be one of those ones where you're going to want to participate. It's everybody's favorite subject today. Oh, I looked at the news today. I looked at the headlines and I said to myself, this is another boring fucking news day. Just another day of absolute nothing really going on out there. And I wanted to do a test real quick, so I'm going to shoot this video into a few chat groups here. And we'll see if we can get some people to join. You never know who might pop in and say hello. But, you know, I mean, I'll tell you what. This is everybody's favorite topic, though. I mean, there's a reason why I came up with the word Trumpophile. You know, it mixes Trump and pedophile, and it defines who their supporters are. It defines those die-hard Trumpophiles, those Trump lovers. And yeah. Before I get too far into it, we're going to get an update from Papa Smurf here. Good morning, Mr. Bruce. How you doing?
Papa who? I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about, pal.
Okay. Well, I know what I'm talking about, so good morning.
How's it going this morning, pal?
It's a slow news day, so I'm going to do everybody's favorite subject, pedophiles and our presidents.
I heard you bashing Trump while I was waiting. Yep, and I understand that. You know,
I've got Trump derangement syndrome. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Well, anyway. So what's going on in the big wide world? You tell me this time. I want to see what you have to say.
You will watch the show. That's what I'm about to do.
Oh, well, I see. I'm so sorry. Now, here's the deal. There's not much of an update here yet, but there will be. Today, I will be writing a Democrat letter to one of the biggest supporters of mask wearing in the country, Mr. Andy Bashir. We're going to be tickling his ribs for a while. And let's see. I haven't quite really decided what else I'm going to do yet. I have stopped being a pizza delivery guy. I'm going to be a door dasher for a while. We'll see how that works out. From what I understand, I can make some good money at that. Let me see. What else is going on in my life? Oh, I got a nice apartment. I'm a happy guy. Don't like one of my neighbors already, but you know, hey, I can deal with that.
Fair enough, Mr. Bruce.
Other than that, there's really not much going on around here. I'm going to be.
It's a slow day today.
Yep. I'm going to be. Oh, let me see. What do you want to call that? Where you wipe through places to see if I can find me some motorcycle gangs around here. I'm actually thinking about, they've got a lot of motorcycle people around here. I'm thinking about trying to rally some support from some of those people and see if I can maybe start a war that they won't soon forget here in Kentucky. Also, I just happened to connect with somebody here. I can't remember the name right off the bat, but she says she's fighting tooth and nail here in Kentucky as well. So we're going to see if we can't start us a little battle here and see if we can get some freedoms restored and some, and some.
It sounds easy when you just say it like that.
Yeah, it really does. And then when you start doing it, that's when it gets really uneasy.
Restore a little freedom here, just nothing complicated at all.
Well, yeah, no, I'm afraid it's a little more complicated than most. What I will say is this. That this is going to be a battle they won't soon forget. And I will not be using any hyperbole. I will not be gracing the lines of any arrestable offenses. So we're going to do this the right way. We've learned our lesson to a point. Of course, the point is that whenever you fight government, you're always a threat. So unfortunately, I'm always going to be a threat. They're always going to try and find something they can get me for. But we're going to definitely give them a run for their money this time.
All right, Mr. Bruce, good for the update. You ready to hear what I got to say about Trump and all the
Absolutely.
Trumpophiles?
Just come on with it, Betty. Just come on with it.
Let's do it. All right. We'll see you later, Mr. Bruce. Thanks for coming on.
All right, man.
All right. Update from Mr. Bruce out there in Kentucky. Thank you, sir. All right. If anybody else would like to join this broadcast, give an update, a thought, a brain fart, whatever that may be, feel free to click the link in the description. Now, all right, so this beautiful device right here, which I am on far too much, is something that I use as a tool. And I just recently added, I think it was 500 new friends to my Facebook. And I figured that there's going to be some Trump supporters in there. Well, hello. Hi, how you doing? You're just as much welcome to click the link and join the broadcast as anybody else. But it's amazing to me to read that this device allows me the ability to read the brain thoughts of you, the Trump supporter. And I'm actually wanting to start a new segment called Trumpophiles Doing Mental Gymnastics. And because, again, the paragraphs that you have to listen to or read through and go, oh, okay. Huh. That's what he thinks, huh? That's what's going on here. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I get it. Yep. Uh-huh. Nope. Okay, so what is their real problem? Why do I call them Trumpophiles? Well, their love for Trump is it's young. It's new. It's about 5 years old. Get it? These are jokes. You put them all together. Kind of funny when you put it that way. Now, anyways, a Trump supporter that's a diehard, will do anything for, is a Trumpophile. We used to call them Trumplicans, but then they kept referring to Democrats as pedophiles. And we started going, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Your boy is in on this too. Your boy Trump. Oh, no, he's not, CJ. I mean, I have listened to all of the Trumpophile regurgitated responses from on high. I'm sure the Trumplican team has sat there for days on end trying to figure out, okay, if this comes out, what narrative are we going to regurgitate so that way the base supporters will still wave their Trump flags and still support Donald J. Trump? If Mama Jo Jorgensen was like Donald Trump, I think the vast majority of the Libertarian Party would have weeded her out in the primary. But because pedophilia is the foundation for which this current form of government has been run, it's no wonder who the top people are when they get pushed to the top. I don't question it. Do you, honestly? I mean, are you that kind of like dumbed down, dulled thinker that has to have everything spoon fed to them? Short of showing you a video of which would be considered distribution of child pornography, you guys are going to sit there and go, well, if I didn't see Trump fuck a kid, well then, oh, god damn. So your guys' fallback is, well, unless you have child pornography, I'm gonna still vote for Trump. What the fuck, man? That's literally the argument that was made in a comment thread last night. Well, if you don't have video proof of Trump fucking kids, then I'm out of here, Jack. And I'm sitting there going, like, do you really think that I just have a video of Trump having sex with kids? Because short of that, you're not going to believe a fucking word I say. But do you know how a news cycle works? Do you know how it works? See, there's phases. There's planting the seed, and then there's growing. It's like a harvest. It's like a circle. And it's at the beginning phases of that circle. They've planted seeds. They put the players there. See, Trumpophiles would much rather just point at pedocrats and go, see, bad people, we're innocent. Oh, and again, you can look at like the crazy QAnons, which is funny because I'm only like 3 people disconnected from some weird conspiracy. It's like not 7 steps of Kevin Bacon. It's like I've interacted with people that are deep in the QAnon world, and I've had to tell them, like, you're fucking stupid. Wake up, you moron. But you'll still believe it because at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, good morning, Mercedes. You just reminded me I need to get pretty. Same. All right, well, get pretty. Now, this is what I'm trying to get at is you guys claim to be free thinkers. We took the red pill, bruh. And it blows my mind. It just, like, I can see the writing on the wall. I have a ton of all the compiled Ghislaine Maxwell stories and Epstein stories and Trump's relationship. And again, you're going to go, well, he can't be guilty by association, while all you fucking Trumpophiles sit there and go, see, guilty by association for all these Democrats. That's what you guys do. I'm just giving you back your own fucking medicine, bitch. Like, that's all it is. It's nothing more or less. Oh, the Democrats are all a bunch of pedophiles. Well, so are Republicans. And your fucking point being, it blows my mind. They're all in on it. Human trafficking has literally funded this government, and that's the big secret that most people don't want you to know in government. The ones that are in control. The ones that you call senator, congressman, governor, representative, president. They're involved in the world's largest child sex trafficking ring in the history of the human species. Oh, CJ, it's a conspiracy because the corporate-owned mainstream media isn't telling me this. It's just some crazy nut job with 3 viewers at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, or is it Tuesday? It's Taco Tuesday. Just some crazy guy out there on the internet. Easy to dismiss because, let's face it, he's not the mainstream media. It's not Fox News telling me Donald Trump was having sex with kids. It's not CNN. Oh, God, if you don't think if CNN had this tape that they wouldn't be playing it? Oh, you guys are that stupid. It's all a game of suicide for these people. both sides are guilty, so they have to like tease it out a little bit. Like they can't just go for the gusto. They can't. It's almost like you expect people to distribute you child pornography in order to prove that the government is involved in child sex trafficking and in participating personally themselves to a certain degree or another. What's the sad part is that the Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein child sex trafficking ring was just one. You think that's the only one that ever operated? Oh, that's just because that's just the one that everyone's talking about. You don't think that there aren't others? You don't think there aren't other countries that have this, that know that pedophilia is the fucking way to blackmail government officials? I mean, honestly, why is it me that has to be the one that sits here and says all this to you? And yet you're allegedly the free thinker. You're allegedly the one who took the red pill, bro. It blows my fucking mind. It does. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're going, well, I have to see video evidence. What the fuck? What? I mean, honestly. Do you really think the mainstream media is going to show you what they do? Like, are you really thinking that there's going to be a point in time where the mainstream media is like, all right, guys, here's some child pornography. Does that prove it to you? So you put people like me in that weird spot of, well, show me the video, CJ, or I don't believe you. Oh, again, I'm not a distributor of child pornography, and I never will be. And the point being that here we are, again, another fucking day where the Trumpophiles are saying, show me video proof. And it'll never be enough for you Trumpophiles. It never will be enough. I could read you every fucking headline I've got here, and you'd find some reason to go fake news, and you'd regurgitate exactly what I'm telling you. I mean, honestly. Fake news, CJ. Fake news. I see you. Epstein's victim claims he, quote, showed her off to Trump when she was 14. Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago when she was underage, and the future president allegedly laughed when Epstein declared, quote, that's a good one, right? And again, at least they used the word allegedly laughed. I mean, it wasn't like this allegedly happened. It was, this is what happened, and he allegedly laughed during it. You know, when the news cycle breaks, you have to hit it from the angle of what are they trying to put on the wall here? Because they all know who's involved. There's dead switches all over government. People that have been blackmailed since before I was even an adult. People that have done some shit that we will never see because we didn't have instant recording technology where people could just go, yeah, okay, you're doing what now? Huh? But you got to look at the writing on the fucking wall. You know, he's a terrific guy. You're telling me that he called him a terrific guy? Oh, but wait, don't worry. Again, hold on. I should preface this as you join. First off and foremost, hi, since people are starting to join here. There's a link in this description. If you want to join the broadcast and you've got something to say, I prefer a Trumpophile. I'm begging you, if you're a Trumpophile, if you're a Trump supporter, a Trump voter, I'm urging you to click the link in the description. Take up half, maybe all of my screen, depending on how stupid you get. and explain it to me. Justify it. Let's hear it. So let's take your comment thread, the one where you all act tough, and let's bring it to this screen. Let's see a face defend this guy. Let's see you defend these two. Well, CJ, I'm not defending the one, but Trump was innocent. I want to hear it. I want to hear it for myself, and I need to hear that Trumpophile voice to the comments that you guys sit there and you regurgitate. You know why I like Jo Jorgensen? I don't have to defend her pedophilia. Oh, because she doesn't have any. We Googled it yesterday. There are 0 alleged allegations you can find on Google. But you go to Donald Trump, it's what, 25, 26 and counting? You go to Joe Biden, allegations all over. The man literally sniffs children in public. You know who doesn't? You know who I don't have to worry about being at a barbecue with? I gotta fix this bill, that's for sure. Jo Jorgensen. I don't have to worry about my child around Jo Jorgensen. I do have to worry about my child around Donald Trump. I do have to worry about my child around Joe Biden. If Joe Biden got within 100 feet of my child, I would shoot him. Point blank. Don't ever come to South Dakota, Joe. Joe Biden, not Jo Jorgensen. So, again, hello, Matt. Hello, Josh. See, I'm one of those people that says if you're a felon and you served your time, as long as it wasn't for a heinous, violent crime, and it was, then you should have all your rights restored. That's for sure. Fashionably late, huh, Matt? That's okay. We're just talking about Trumpophiles and Epstein and Maxwell today because the news cycle's fucking slow. Oh, drugs? Oh, yeah, no. See, I'm one of those people that says abolish the drug war and restore everybody's rights. Plain and simple. Easy fix. You'd have millions of people back at voting in no time. But, you know, and again, that's all those people are the ones that profited while these pedophiles were you know, while these people are fucking kids, they're locking up people for drug charges that are petty and yeah, just ridiculous. And that's how they built their government, by persecuting people for using drugs. While most of them are using drugs to some form or fashion or another. And of course, they've got their pedophilia in the background. So, and again, this is just one of Epstein's victims. The first known victim is the last holdout against his estate. Last January, a California woman identified as Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against Epstein's estate and British heiress Ghislaine Maxwell, who is facing federal charges for allegedly recruiting girls into the financier's trafficking ring. And again, I can't really... It's a members only for the Daily Beast, but you get where that's going. Now, you keep going, and you wonder what's going on in the world. Unsealed documents detail alleged Epstein's victims' recruitment at Mar-a-Lago. Now, before the Trumpophiles sit here and get all up in my my comment threads like you're getting pissed off. Well, Trump kicked out Epstein from Mar-a-Lago because he might have found out that Epstein was running a sex ring out of it, Mar-a-Lago. Not true. Actually, if you really put the pieces together, and it's pretty obvious. You gotta just put the pieces together. Trump says Epstein was never a Mar-a-Lago member. He was. New book tells what got him exiled. You know what got him exiled? He was going to get Trump caught. He was going to get them all caught. That's what was going to happen. He was trying to recruit a girl whose father was there. Donald Trump severed ties with Jeffrey Epstein. Severed ties with Jeffrey Epstein after the disgraced financier hit on the teenager daughter of a Mar-a-Lago member, threatening the Trump brand of glitz and glamour, according to a new published book about the president's Palm Beach club. Trump publicly disavowed Epstein a day after the financier's arrest on July 11, 2019, saying in the Oval Office that the two hadn't spoken in 15 years. After a falling out, he has also claimed that Epstein was never a Mar-a-Lago member. So why lie? Why the lie? This is the thing that gets me the most, is that you have to defend more lies in order to keep lying about this shit. But he wasn't just kicked. He was kicked out because he was hitting on a teenage daughter of a Mar-a-Lago member. That's it. He got caught. The first rule of pedo club is don't get caught, Epstein. Hello? You're risking everybody. So of course he's going to have to give him the harshest of exiles. And then you hear the regurgitated narrative of the pedos that, again, the Trumpophiles, just lockstepping in line. 1, 2, 1, 2. You hear it. You know when your drunk uncle's gonna regurgitate something that a corporate fucking entity, a government spokesperson or some fucking focus group that they do. They're like, all right, how do we cover this up? Well, we just say this, and then drunk uncles all across the United States are going to say it back to all their nephews. That's how we do it. We get the drunk uncles to tell their nephews, this is what is going down in America. It's a dumb fucking thing. So there goes your narrative that Trump kicked him out because he was, he got caught. That's it. His behavior, he got caught. If that girl's daughter wasn't there, her father wasn't there, that girl's father wasn't there, who knows? Who knows? If it would have been a different girl, who knows? Maybe he would have taken that 14-year-old and shown her off to Trump. Hey, this is a good one, huh? But yet, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We just pretend like that's not the truth, and we just continue to just play blindly into. I mean, do you really think Trump is like gonna save you personally? You, the Trumpophile that's sitting there defending him, who again has zero chance of, one, ever meeting the president, two, let alone him ever giving a fuck about you. You are what they call a useful idiot. That's just it. You're just a useful idiot. You're just defending regurgitated talking points approved that they know you're going to do. You're going to say it in your kitchen. You're going to say it outside and randomly at some park. You're going to regurgitate it to some stranger on the street. You're going to regurgitate all these approved narrative talking points that they have carefully crafted to leak it out just a little bit. And if they don't play ball with each other's side, well, it's a dead man switch and they'll all just drop the fucking bomb. And there goes the whole fucking money train. When your whole empire is built on pedophilia and human and child sex trafficking, and it's controlled, and it's controlling parts of government, and it's lawyers running a third of it, you really think that they're innocent? Well, I need to see video evidence of Trump fucking kids. Jesus Christ, that was actually said to me. Well, without the fucking kids part. I need to see video evidence, CJ. Like I'm just supposed to be able to go, hey, can you guys... There's a Trumpophile in this one comment thread on Facebook that says that I'm lying if I can't show him child pornography. Like, seriously. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's where I draw the line at stupid. You're backing me into a corner where I either show you child pornography of the president of the United States fucking a minor, or you won't believe me. And they know you're that stupid out there. They know it. They have to know that you're going to take it to that stupid of a fucking level to defend Trump. Well, unless I saw it with my own eyeballs, CJ, I don't believe a fucking word. All right, fair enough. I advocate for his due process too. But again, let's just put the facts in fucking pieces, because you guys, we have something that's called preponderance of evidence, and Trump has no fucking clue what that even means. He doesn't like due process to begin with. He thinks that it's inconvenient for people. Due process is inconvenient. So the man that expects due process, and you think that we should give due process to, which I'm all for. Again, he can have all the due process he wants. In fact, I hope there's people looking into this shit that are way more talented and smart and have much more of an educational system upbringing than me. Word. What is up? See, it gets intense. Again, if anybody'd like to join, there is a link in the description. And I say these things begging. Like, okay, if you're watching this and you have been invited, like I was invited to a Trump group. I accepted the invitation, and I've shared this in that group. If you're a pro-Trump group, and here I am talking all this shit, and not one is like, I'll step up and defend the orange Jesus. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But I mean, honestly though, I mean, why keep lying? Why? Trump called Epstein terrific guy before denying a relationship with him. I mean, really, and this is the saddest part, is that I continue to have to do this. Trump, Epstein, Mar-a-Lago. And again, some of you Trumpophiles already know where I'm going with it, which is the saddest part. I'm not the first one to be like, hey, your boy Trump might be involved in something dirty here. Like, seriously, like some serious shit. But you guys continue and continue. And I'm like, dude, the October surprises are going to be everywhere. Everywhere. So why deny why deny the relationship? Why continue to lie? Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after sex criminal hits on members. Why deny this relationship? There was a video on this. Again, there was a video. Why deny the relationship? I just don't get it. I mean, really.
Come on in. Go inside.
An invitation into Donald Trump's world. Footage from 1992 found in the NBC archives shows the future president welcoming Jeffrey Epstein to his Mar-a-Lago estate. The get-together more than a decade before Epstein pleaded guilty to prostitution charges in Florida. Both men are seen enjoying themselves, Trump pointing out women dancing in front of him.
And that's Ghislaine Maxwell right here. And I'm going to show you something else here. I see you there, Matt.
An apparently friendly encounter with a man the president is now looking to...
Now, again, there's Ghislaine. There's Trump and Epstein, and there's a very young woman on the behind Donald Trump right there. And again, it makes you wonder, why deny the relationship? Why deny it? It's there. It's crystal fucking clear. There's at least some relationship there. I don't get it. Maybe my next guest does. Live from South Carolina, it's Matthew Baxley. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, CJ. How about you?
Trying to prove the president's a pedophile without having to try to get and obtain child pornography to prove it.
Well, I've got interesting anecdotal information to go with that. The owner of a forum that I'm on, when I was talking about Joe Jorgensen, and they're all, obviously it's a 4x4 forum, so everybody's kind of pro-Trump in there mostly. And I'm like, yeah, well, Joe Jorgensen's also the only one that's not a known or soon to be known pedophile. And she came right back and said, but Breitbart told us that if we don't follow whoever the GOP puts up, then America loses. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, you're right. In that case, then, yeah, you're right. We should definitely vote for a pedophile. So, I screenshotted that basically for posterity. So when it does officially come out that he is a pedophile, and it's like, hey, Sid, remember when you said that you support a pedophile no matter what? Because Breitbart told you to, you remember that?
Oh, shit. Oh, that is beautiful, man. And that's where a lot of us are. We're early. This is where I'm trying, Matt. I swear to God, I just think we're early. I think we blew the grenade pin. We pulled it a little too soon. We're sitting here cooking it a little too long. And next thing you know, we're I mean, again, we got to throw this thing away. But I mean, again, I had it last night. I swear to God, I'm sitting here going, they said, prove it. You got any video? And I was like, whoa, wait. You guys want me to go find child pornography? Like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. Like, if your defense is I need to see it with my own eyeballs, you're a sick fuck.
And I'm all for innocent until proven guilty, but at the same
Me
time,
too.
if somebody's like, hey, man, that guy killed some kids, and it's like, well, he hadn't been to trial yet, and I need a babysitter, so I'm going to call him up, he's innocent until proven guilty. It's like, yeah, I mean, innocent until proven guilty. We don't need to bring out the guillotine yet, but let's go ahead and get it fitted, right next size, so we're prepared,
Right, exactly. That's all we're doing is we're just preparing you for the worst. We're setting you up for the letdown,
We're trying to soften the blow. We're trying to do them a favor, CJ.
Okay, let me ask you this, Matt. Have you ever had it where you friend somebody you don't really know on Facebook, and next thing you know, somebody is going through saying, hey, screenshots of like them saying some pretty sick shit, and they're like, you better unfriend them now or you're going to suffer the consequences. You ever had that where people are like, unfriend this person now? Just a warning.
That's why I stay off of Facebook, man. It's too much bullshit for me. It's just, I don't get it.
That's why I try to weed out the people. I try to go through it and go, okay, you don't look like you're sniffing kids. You don't look like, and I have to profile this.
Right.
It's sad. But the point is that it's still hey, just a warning, a heads up, you might want to reconsider this. We're trying to pull people off the sinking ship.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. You weren't the one that was allegedly hanging out with billionaire pedophiles flying. Well, CJ, it was just one time from Mar-a-Lago to Newark. It wasn't to the island. Like that makes a big fucking deal. Well, it was just a layover.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, right. No, you're right. Just sleep with that one. Just I mean, again, well, unless you can prove something happened on the plane. Okay. Now there's a guy by the name of Dan Bongino who he said, Bill Clinton, we've got video proof of Bill Clinton getting onto Epstein's plane and allegedly flying to the island 26 times. Who would fly on such a plane even one time, you sick fuck? And it's like, but wait a minute, did you not know that your boy Trump had also flown on Epstein's plane? I mean, and again, it was one time. Well, no, what kind of let me repeat Dan Bongino. What kind of sick fuck flies on a pedophile's plane even once?
Yeah. Did you watch that Shadowgate video, that Millie Weaver video or whatever
You
it
know
was?
what? I've watched the preview. I just have not had a chance to sit down and watch it.
Well, I watched the whole thing.
Wait, just before you get too far into it. Is it pro-Trump spin like he's the messiah of the
absolutely. Yeah. No, it was everybody's crooked, but it's a coup against Trump. And it's like, you guys would be so much more credible if you just said, well, we don't have as many direct ties to Trump, but he's pretty much tied up in this stuff too. But no, they're like, no, he was the good guy and everybody else was the bad guy. And
one thing that got me, Matt, was that it's a double standard,
Yeah.
And I just go, man, if you have to sit there and go, Trump was a FBI insider agent, like he was. Like, dude, I ran into a group of about 1,000 Trumpophiles. I joined their group because, again, I've been joining Trumpophile groups just to entertain myself, and it boosts my numbers a little bit. Like, I get a little residual views out of them tuning in and going, "Oh, fuck this guy, unfriend."
Yeah.
But it's how I try to draw off the Trumpophiles. Like I want them to come on here and tell me that this is fake news. I want them to come on here and be like, oh, man, it was just one time, man. It was to Newark. Like, yeah, but there were 3 girls underage on that plane, and who knows what the fuck happened. It was somebody, I can't remember who told me this, but it's like, the point of child human sex trafficking is that they're fucking moving. They're on the move. They're not like, yeah, sure, they've got Pedo Island, which is like the mecca for pedophiles. But the point of the trafficking part is that they're not staying still in one location. Oh, God dang, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah, they're herding them like cattle to one, off-grid island somewhere where I don't know.
God knows what happened.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But then,
and again,
it's like you lose so much credibility when you get into like the QAnon stuff, and it's like, oh, there's satanic rituals slaughtering these kids. It's like, nah, just pedophilia is bad enough. Yeah, pedophilia is bad enough. You don't have to throw all this other bullshit on top of it.
Meanwhile, Mr. Baxley, I've got a few friends, Again, I don't discriminate against religion. If you're telling me that you're a nonviolent satanist, like a Satanist, a nonviolent Satanist, right. I'm not going to be like, well, fuck you. I mean, if you're telling me your religion as a Satanist is to be nonviolent, well, I mean, that's no different than the Libertarian Party's non-aggression principle. Like, all right, okay, so you worship the devil. Like, you think he's a bringer of light and was the fall guy for God or some shit. Like, okay, and then they get offended when they're like, why the fuck does everybody keep saying it's satanic pedophiles? Like, why can't it just be pedophiles? And they're like, you're giving the Satanists a bad name. Like, yeah, right. Like, only because you fundamentally misunderstand their religion. And I'm sitting there like, I mean, I'm not really a religious guy to begin with, but I mean, it's kind of funny when Satanists are telling you that pedophiles are more sick and twisted and demented than Satanists themselves.
Right.
I mean, Matt, I try to sit here and imagine, like, okay, I voted for Donald Trump. I admit this, but I also admit I fell into that duopoly think. I didn't fall under, I'm going to defend Trump till my last breath, and then, like, Stalin-esque, long live Trump, and bang, as he shoots me in the fucking head with his, men. I fell for if I don't vote for Trump, Clinton's gonna be president. Never again will I fall for that stupid duopoly think again. And here we are. I'm having to explain this to essentially me. Like people that want to be as stubborn as me, but I never would take it to the level these guys have. Man, I'm telling you, they wanted me to show them child pornography to prove their point. Like, unless you've got the video of Trump fucking a kid, I'm not believing you.
And it's like, are you serious? Are you really that dumb that you think I'm going to go out and search for child pornography? Like,
thank you.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Just it's a quick Google search real quick. It's on DuckDuckGo. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
Well, how much money is it worth? Let's see if I can Google the price of a 16-year-old white girl. What are they going for these days? You know, like,
Jesus. And then not have the FBI show up at my door going, all right,
right.
CJ.
And it's like, oh, well, I was just trying to prove to my friends, you know, like
I
it
was
was
just,
nothing
I swear,
malicious. Yeah.
it was just Facebook. They said if I don't show them, then, oh my God, like, no. So, and that's why I decided there's dumb fucking news today. Everybody should have a chance to talk about Epstein today because, you know, again, the government is running a child trafficking ring. You know, when you see headlines like Donald Trump boosts the foster care system, and then you see the head of the foster care system for the government saying, well, 60 to 70% of children in foster care are trafficked.
Yeah.
And you go, I mean, again, so it's not, it's you know, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 still leaves you 4 to you know, 3 out of 10 that are not trafficked. But to say even 60% are being trafficked, it makes you go, well, who's giving the money out? It's the government. You'd think that they know this.
Yeah, and see, I think a lot of it has to do with like the definition and stuff. Because like when I first started hearing about like sex trafficking and everything, I'm imagining them stealing babies, raising them up like geisha girls or something, and like that's not really what it takes. You know, it's like you said, all it means is you're moving one person to another place with this intention.
Correct.
And it's just the way that it's defined, it's not clear. Like they're not coming out and saying what exactly it is, except for the Libertarian Party, who explains how if you legalize sex work, then you would have less of a problem with this. Like you said, how many Johns have showed up to the hotel room and been like, can I see your driver's license? You don't quite look 18, ma'am. And it's like at that point you're already breaking a crime, so you're not going to ask for ID, and therefore you're just complacent with human sex trafficking.
Right. And again, I've said I believe, and this is my personal opinion here, all bolsterous, saber rattling aside, I personally believe Donald Trump was just a John to one particular child sex trafficking ring. And there's a headline that says, and again, I think I'm a little bit behind on this one, but it was Maxwell recorded Johns, and again, and this is in the lawsuit of the sealed records, and this is out of NPR. Judge releases trove of sealed records related to lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell, and in this treasure trove, it goes through and it explains that she recorded men, and that there's documents that even the Trump administration itself is fighting to make sure it stays sealed. So, I mean, if you're not a John to a child sex trafficking ring, why would you fight sealed documents becoming unsealed? I mean, does this make this? I'm just pointing out the behaviors. Like, if I was innocent of this, I would be like, fucking release it all and fry the motherfuckers.
Right.
I mean, again, so and again, I see like Donnie's, good morning, sir, your comment here. Has any serious investigation been made into the child trafficking and family court CPS foster system care connections? Yes. Us, the people that have been affected by it, are out here saying this is a fucking problem. But as far as the government investigating themselves, yeah, they did. They determined nothing was wrong, and Trump just gave them a steroid shot of what was it? It was I think $250 million for the foster care system. Where 7 out of 10 children are trafficked. Yeah, yeah, we did an investigation. We the people have done the investigation. The government did their own investigation and determined that they did no wrongdoing. Like, come on. And the lawyers know this, Matt. They know that what's going on because they put themselves in the middle and they profit from it. And they know that too. They get inside baseball that most of us don't fucking know. And then they try to profit on it like it's the stock market. Straight up. And so, I mean, again, I sit here and I try to go like, hey, man, to the random Trumpophile out there that's like, Yeah, he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. It was just a one-time flight to New York, and they played spades, and they didn't, like, come on, man. You're telling me they
Well,
played
yeah,
spades? Like, yeah, okay.
going back to that, like, wouldn't if you found out that like somebody came over to your house and was hitting on a teenage girl, wouldn't you go a step further than just asking them to leave? Like, wouldn't you? I don't know,
Okay,
like
here's an example.
look
So
into the background, like,
I had a party at my house. I was 24 years old, 25 years old, and somebody I didn't know brought a 17-year-old to our party. And as soon as I look, she sat down at the table, and I looked at her and I said, "How old are you?" And she's like, "I'm 17." And I looked at him. I said, "You need to take her home right fucking now. Get the fuck out of my house and go take her home."
yeah,
And I mean, again, now again, would you say I was involved in a child sex trafficking ring? No. I mean, it was a party that we let people come to. He brought a minor, and I was
yeah,
just like, no, 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 no. Get her the fuck out. I mean, now, did I call the police? No. But at the end of the day, I know he took her home. I made sure. I said, you get her the fuck home. And then again, you can come right back here and we'll talk about it. And I did not just buddy up with him. I was like, what the fuck, dude? We're like, like, come on, man. Like, I had just had a
yeah,
newborn kid, and I'm sitting there going, like, as a dad, like a new dad, I'm sitting there going, like, good Lord, if my 17-year-old's hanging out at like a 26-year-old's house where
right,
there's alcohol and cannabis and I mean doing all this, we have parties. I mean, but we were all
yeah,
adults, so able to like buy our own alcohol. Like my rule was at 21, if you can't buy me a drink, we're not having a conversation.
yeah.
But again, the point being that, I mean, well, would I call him a pedophile? I think he was like 20, maybe 20, or no, I think he was like 21. I think he was 21. He was young. We met him at the bar, and we said, yeah, we're having a party afterwards. Like, you can come hang out. But you bring a 17-year-old to a party where all of us are overage, you think we're not going to go like, hey, man, that's a kid to all of us. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if I consider that pedophilia. It's just like easy targeting. Like, it's just you don't have any confidence in yourself to be able to
Don't get me
associate with
wrong,
people
the
your
girl
own
didn't.
age, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The girl looked like she could get into a bar and with a fake ID, but when
Yeah,
she
when I
talked
was
to,
in
okay, go
I
ahead.
was living in Nashville in 2004. I think it would have been New Year's Eve 2004. Um, so I was like 18, 19, and we had a New Year's party at my house, and one of the guys I was going to school with came down. He was a few years older. He might have been 21 or something, but he brought a girl from his apartment complex down. I wasn't really paying attention to her, didn't have no idea or anything like that, and then go back to school, and some of the other guys that live at the apartment complex was like, bro, man, that girl's like 15, you can't be having her at your house. And I'm like, Dur, what the fuck, man? Like, you're
Yeah, it
21 years
makes
old bringing 15-year-old girl to a New Year's party? Like, the fuck is wrong with you?
no,
Like,
and again, I sit
and
here and
that was the end of it. It's like,
but I mean, and I will say, as a father of girls, I can, and knowing the way some girls are raised, and most of them are fatherless, don't have that rudder, so to speak, and so they get into these situations where they go to a house or they go to a party. I think most of them are aware of what they're doing. I would
oh
have to
yeah, she
say,
knew she knew what she was doing. It wasn't her first
right.
time, but
And I'm
it's
not
just like,
excusing it. I'm not
right.
excusing it. But what I'm saying is that it's an easy trap that people can fall into. So that's what I was saying. When you're 18, if she can't buy you a pack of smokes, but I mean, again, I'm not gonna take. I'm not gonna. Okay, Romeo Juliet laws aside, especially when you turn 21, if you're able to go to a bar. Now, like when I was 21, man, I was interested in women that are 40. Like I was
Yeah,
cougar hunting at
yeah,
21, like I wasn't. I mean, it's a different game. I mean, but 15, 24, like, come on, man. Like,
It was no chat. There was no, when I was in Nashville with fake ID going out, mostly in East Nashville is where I lived and stuff, which was kind of like a hipster gentrified part of town even back then. But it's like, yeah, I didn't have interest hitting on high school girls. I wanted to hit on the older girls and see how good I could do. See if I could pull it off. It was a challenge, like,
right. Cougar hunting. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And trust me, you get with your first cougar and you're like, whoa, like, I thought I was this like stud. No, man, she treated me like, but then again, here we are, two grown ass men going, we're hunting 40-year-old women and, cougar like, and we're like 20 something, young 20s. Yeah. Nobody calls these women pedophiles.
Right.
Okay. I'll take that back to the few of you out there that are like, no, I would like, but no, consenting adults. Like, there's a line. Like, but you can't tell me that, like with Epstein and Trump, that especially with the quotes we have for Trump, like, well, Epstein likes young girls like I do. Like, if Matt, if you and I were sitting here talking about how, well, CJ, he likes them young girls like me, like, what the fuck would we be like that? It would be so fucking blatantly obvious. But this is, and I believe this is done in a time where they knew there wasn't like, people couldn't just go ding, okay, record, they lived in a time where recording a John was a setup. So that's where I'm trying to think, like, these people had a fallout. Epstein didn't kill himself. There's a dead switch. They know it, and they are trying to mitigate it by fighting the release of these records in the court system. And before you know it, the October surprise comes out, like, and again, what are 62.5 million people gonna do when they realize that, like, just like they say, the 65.8 million that voted for Clinton, what are they going to do when it all comes out? If it came out that Joe Jorgensen had even one allegation, I'd take the fucking hat off and burn it to the fucking ground. And then I would like hide for like a year or two and be like, I'd crawl under a fucking rock. Dr. Joe, please. No, I'm just joking. I've Googled it. I've looked. I had to be fair and impartial. We Googled all the candidates' sexual assault allegations. Like, she had zero.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like the worst thing on her record's like a 10 over speeding ticket. Like,
I would be okay. I would say like if she got into like if she was drinking some bourbon and got into like a fight with some woman in her like 20s, I'd be like, okay, and maybe as simple as
that would surprise me. I would be really surprised to find that.
Yeah, I would too. Again, put it to you this way. While I was 11 when she was I was 10 when she was the vice presidential candidate. So she's out there running for vice president while I'm sitting there still like playing Legos. I don't think that she's out there partying with billionaires and traffickers of children while she's obtaining her doctorate to be a lecturer at a college. Like, I don't, and she's married, having kids. Like,
And CJ, that's another fucked up thing, man, is I'm in South Carolina and Spike's from Myrtle Beach. She's from Greenville. You'd think that we'd be like, hey, South Carolina, yeah, we got a president, vice president ticket, like, let's be proud of that, good for her. No.
You would
Jamie Harrison, bad. Lindsey Graham, good. Blah, blah, blah. It's just.
But you would think that the fact that your state has that ticket and then the odds of that are like astronomical to none.
Right.
But we don't talk about it though in the way that put it to you this way. If they had to say Joe Jorgensen's name as much as they say Biden and Trump, we would have easily % of the vote. Easily, because it would force people. The media knows it, and that's where I keep saying the media hasn't regurgitated to the Trumpophiles how to respond to this allegation. And every time it's a setup. I'm telling you, it's a joke, and you're the butt of it. If you're a Trumpophile and a pedocrat, you're the butt of the joke. You're the ones that they are like, again. So wait a minute, you're telling me there's people beating each other in the streets because our two sides are mortal enemies, and we've controlled these far left and far right sections to mortally hate each other on our behalf. Oh, let's just cash in on the ad revenue from this. Let's just cash in on the court system as a result of it. Did I lose you, Mr. Baxley? Yep. Oh, there we go. I thought I lost you.
Sorry about that.
You know, let's just cash in on the flip side of the confrontation we create. That's the current government. I mean, and people want to tell me I'm wrong because I can't show them child pornography. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. That's where I said I'm doing a whole episode today. At least a 1 hour episode of fuck you, Trumpophiles. I cannot wait for the fall. I'm going to document it all. Just like you, Matt. Hey, remember that time your coworker defended pedophilia because Breitbart said they had to? Like, that's the point I'm trying to get at is if you are putting yourself in that position, you might want to rethink your vote. But again, then they'll go, but if I don't vote for this pedophile, that pedophile is going to win.
But these same people that want to see the evidence are the same people that said, well, there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. There's aluminum tubes, CJ. What more do you need?
Also, all these stories that are slowly piecing it together, they're saying Epstein killed himself. Trump is saying Epstein killed himself. The official narrative of the government, like 9/11, is that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in a cell. That's the official story. Just like 9/11. I believe 9/11 was an inside job through and fucking through. Through and fucking through. I don't know where you stand. I'm just like, buildings like that don't just fucking come down. Look at the one building over there in Lebanon. Took a fucking blast like that and still partially standing. Like, you're telling me that no, if you can't call yourself a free thinker and go, well, 9/11 was just I mean, that's what happens when jet fuel burns steel. Like, you don't know the science of it. You don't like, and there's kids today that are not alive. There's adults that are alive today that were not even born when 9/11 happened. I mean, I was in 10th grade. I remember where I was when the world stopped turning.
Me too, yeah.
Like, you can't tell me that everybody that day, you could see who was going to regurgitate the fucking narrative. The useful idiots, the ones that are going to go, well, the 9/11 commission report came out and it said that it was not an inside job, CJ. And it's like, but you're a free thinker, right? Yeah, no, I'm a free thinker. I can't back that shit, man. Like, you're asking me to believe the government when we know the government causes 99.8% of the problems.
Yeah. And I wouldn't go as far as to say that the government controlled it 100%. I could see them just capitalizing on the opportunity. It's like, oh, well, let's go ahead and do this while this is going on, and it's like, look at this hand, don't look what we're doing over here. I mean, it could have been, but it's still, what they're telling us is not the truth, whether it was
right. So they're telling us the truth when it comes to human child sex trafficking and the potential possibility of the president being involved in it and his role in it. And I just go, man, at some point you would think, okay, first and foremost, nothing has changed since Trump took office. I mean, well, we had the greatest okay, hold on. We had the greatest economy rebuild since the Great Depression. No, there are other factors that went into this resurgence of the economy because they allowed a certain spending to happen, and now we're realizing now that it's the stock market being held up by fiat currency that could collapse. Who fucking knows when? I mean, And so of course you're going to have a boom when they're allowed to spend trillions of fucking dollars. You know what I mean? Like
it takes money to make money.
Yeah, if Trump put in increased the debt by $6 trillion, you're going to see a $6 trillion boom in the economy in different areas where that money is being funneled around. It's like Halliburton with Iraq war, weapons of mass destruction. That was a setup and a fucking con job too. So why do these people listen? I truly believe that we're just waiting on people to look at the dun, 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 dun. Your nightly news says this is what you believe, and they go, this is what we believe now. This is what we'll regurgitate at our morning coffee cooler, like our water cooler. Like, come on, man. I mean, we're supposed to be a country of critical thinking people that are supposed to have the best interest of the country at heart. When why would we even entertain the fact? Like, listen, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say we shouldn't be electing anybody with any allegations of sexual impropriety. Is that such a fucking hard thing to say?
That's a pretty low bar. That's a low standard. It's like 35 years old, not a pedophile, U.S. citizen.
Yeah, like maybe we could just add that into the Constitution.
Yeah, like, I would say 35 to 65, no pedophilia, at least no major ties to a foreign corporation or country. I don't really care if you're a natural born citizen or not, if you have the best interests of the country and the people support you.
I would say,
but, pedophilia is kind of a disclaimer,
Yeah. Yeah, like, no criminal allegations. I mean, again, I advocate again for everybody's due process rights. You're never going to hear me say lock them up, throw away the key without due process of the law.
Right.
But if there's a part like let's say let's say the Libertarian Party, right? Let's say that it comes out that one of our presidential candidates it has a criminal court case for child human trafficking. Probably shouldn't put them at the top of the ticket. You would hope that our delegates would be better than that.
Yeah, but it should be an automatic disqualifier, But
you would think that the Democrats, where they're having their online convention, you would think that their delegates would be like, hey, guys, so Joe Biden has sniffed a lot of kids. Joe Biden has done some pretty sick shit. I have had people defending Joe Biden. Like, dude, I have a friend on my friends list. Well, was a friend because, again, all I said is, have you seen the videos of Joe Biden sniffing kids and you're going to vote for him? And he's like, oh, this isn't true. That's all fake. And I'm like, no, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Like, this is as real as it gets. And he just wanted to la, 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 la. Like, dude, that's where most of these Trumpophiles and pedocrats are at. They just want to la, 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 la. I didn't see it, didn't hear it. Unless you pry their eyes open and show them child pornography, these pedocrats and these Trumpophiles are going to continue to vote the duopoly think way until it's on the nightly fucking news where it's indisputable. Like, they have to be like, here, like, for example, the creator of Rick and Morty did a video where he's allegedly raping a baby, right?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the actual unedited video of it, but okay. I've seen enough to know that he's humping a fake baby, right? And he's making jokes about raping babies. And you can see that there's some sick shit going on in the video. Short of that, with Donald Trump in the video, where you can clearly see who it is, these Trumpophiles don't give a fuck what all the regurgitated headlines are, because they're trained to dismiss it. If it came out today, Spike Cohen had 41 fucking allegations of sexual impropriety, you would watch an exodus of support leaving him.
Yeah.
But you don't see the same thing from the pedocrats and the Trumpophiles.
No, and I try to have the arguments with my friends that are, like dumbasses, for lack of a better term. And it's like, you can't even tell me what socialism is. And it's like, It's like, well, okay, I'll give credit where credit due. Like, Trump's not the worst president we've ever had, I don't think.
Okay, wait. Short of being involved allegedly in child sex
Yeah, right,
I mean,
right.
short of that, then yeah, I'll give you that the economy was on a good track before COVID. I'll give you,
Yeah.
but how much of that is Trump versus the policymakers, the people behind him, where he's just
probably very little, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
but then I bring up, like, Trump's not pro 2A. Trump has done nothing but perpetuate socialism. He's done nothing to help our health care, which was my biggest gripe. Before we got married, my health care as a single 30-year-old man was like $300 and something a month. And it's like, it's ridiculous, you know. Like, I don't need insurance. I don't go to the doctor short of, you know, some kind of major issue like I did yesterday. I'm not going to the doctor every time I got the sniffles or a sore throat, you know, like
short of my leg being dismembered from my body. Like, I'm not going.
It's like, oh shit, I got an ear infection. I'm gonna go to the pet store and get some of that fish antibiotics, you know, like
there's home remedies for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the other thing.
Our body's pretty amazing. You can just deal with it. Most of the shit will clear up on its own.
Most of it, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But there are some shit like where you're like, hey, I need a professional opinion. In which case, sure, then it should be something that you can go to where it's like Jiffy Lube. It's affordable. It's, you know, it's like, hey, doc, can you look at this thing on my anus? And he'll go, yeah, that's a $75, you know, anal inspection fee. Like, okay, fine, that's cool. But the free market would let something like that be decided, you know, like.
And man, my experience yesterday was really nice, man, because they're big major medical corporations. And the urgent care I went to, the receptionist was like, "No, I don't want to check you in because we're not going to be able to do anything, and they're going to bill you." It's like, he's going to take a look at you and then send you to the ER anyway, because we don't do ultrasounds here. So just don't even check in here. Just go straight to ER. And I was like, okay,
thanks for the tip. Yeah, save me some money. All right. If I ever really truly do need you, at least I know you'll be honest with me. Yeah. But, you know, and that's the thing, is that I try to imagine a world, Matt, where if we can say we can talk about this and we can bring these points to the forefront, but I would leave my platform open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for any Trump supporter. I won't even call you a Trumpophile in this nice little segment. I would say, listen, if you're a Trump supporter, you could reach out to me and just have a real conversation. I mean, I'm not the only one saying, hey, he's not pro 2A. Stop sharing that he's pro 2A. You're fake news. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean he's not pro 2A? And again, I had this one happen on my mother's comment thread where my mom says, Donald Trump, she shares all this list of all the good things Donald Trump is and all the bad things Biden is. And you're just like, hey, he's definitely not pro 2A. And you go, but what do you mean he's not? And then you show them the video of, I like taking guns first, going to court to get due process. And they're like, well, that was him talking about red flag laws. And it's like, but red flag laws are unconstitutional. He supports red flag laws. How the fuck is he 2A? He's not. You're stupid. Stop fucking saying that he is for the Second Amendment. But you keep doing it, and you think that you repeating it is going to somehow make him go, wait a minute, I was wrong. I don't like taking guns first and then going to court to get the inconvenient due process. And when you have a president that thinks due process is inconvenient, you are not fucking free. You are just waiting for government to fucking punish you. You are guilty until proven innocent. How the fuck are you pro? And that violates not just the Second Amendment, it violates the Fourth and the Fifth Amendment. But most of these Trumpophiles are too stupid to know what the Constitution really is or what the amendments actually are. When I said Fourth and Fifth Amendment, there's Trumpophiles out there that are like, I don't even know what that means, CJ, but you're wrong because I like Trump. And I will never be able to fix those type of stupid. I will never. I would have an aneurysm if I had to worry about convincing every Trumpophile just on that one issue, let alone the fact that he may have been a John for a child sex trafficking ring. Because let's face it, you're a billionaire. You have access to basically anything you want on the fucking planet, to include, women. That are going to just throw themselves at you. You've got girls that are groomed to, look over age, to dress like they're adults, to entertain these rich men in ways that are sick and twisted. And you don't think that in his lifetime he couldn't have been a John, a victim of, maybe, and know what I'm saying, like a victim of, like he was lured into it. Maybe he was a little libertarian and he was like, I'm all for the legalization of prostitution. It's just capitalism and sex. Like I used to quote Joe Jorgensen before Joe Jorgensen was a thing. But, so I'm not going to, maybe he thought that this was an adult and it was a minor.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then
like
again,
I said,
but this
he just
woman,
asked somebody to like, hey, hook us up with some girls for a party this weekend. And it's like, yeah, I got some girls for you. It's like, I didn't think I needed to specify that they needed to be adults, but here they are. So,
a federal judge has unsealed hundreds of pages of deposition transcripts and other documents related to a now settled defamation suit brought against Ghislaine Maxwell, who is accused of helping the late Jeffrey Epstein run a sex trafficking operation that catered to rich and powerful men. They're setting you up to hear it for yourself that Ghislaine Maxwell was recording her Johns. Like, they're setting you up. You have to be a critical free thinker to see and read between the lines to say, hey, they're saying she was recording, guys. Why is the Trump administration fighting to seal these documents and keep them permanently sealed? If you were an innocent man, you wouldn't be fighting to keep documents sealed in court. And the truth shall set you free. Mr. Baxley, we will never solve the world's problems in one broadcast, though, I assure you that much.
But all we can do is try.
Yeah, well, I think we've beat the Trumpophiles up enough for tonight. I think for today. I think I had, what was it? I didn't even get to I frankly wish her well.
Yeah.
Here's another sign that you might be a John of a child sex trafficking ring. The head pedophile, he was a terrific guy. The sheep herder, the kid herder, the one that was, the madame, I wish her well. Like, yeah, this is a guy that was framed. This is a guy that was being controlled in some form or another. And again, I believe it.
And see, all he has to do is be like, I had no idea of these allegations when we were spending time together years ago. I hope it's not true because, gosh, she's a terrible person, but, let's let it run its course. He could have said anything other than.
Yeah, you know what?
Anything at all other than I wish her well.
Yeah, but, and then you go through all the here's another one I had. All the times that Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump have been photographed together. No, he didn't know her. I mean, you only meet somebody this many times and get that close, but you didn't know him. You didn't know. I mean, come on, Paris Hilton, really? I mean, come on, man. This is one of my favorite ones because this dude looks like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm screwed. And like this chick, she just like, this dude's oblivious to it.
he's pondering, are we going to hell for what we're doing?
Again, and no, they didn't know each other at all. Like they weren't friends. I mean, again, a photo of Trump and Maxwell at a hookers and pimps themed party. Like,
oh, that's convenient. Yeah.
I mean, and again, no, this is all something where you're just like, if this was me or you, Matt, we would be crucified. don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't have a hookers and pimp party. Like I'm like, you know what? It actually, it kind of sounds fun. I mean, I might attend if invited one. But if I found out that there might be child sex trafficking there, I might be calling the FBI. I might not just be participating and dancing. You know, like
if it's less of a charade and more of a that's actually what it is. You know.
Yeah, it's like yeah. So at what point? I mean, again, this is why I say I'm glad I don't have to wake up every day and suck the dick of Donald Trump, because it would just be a terrible day. I'd have to pretend like we're making America great again. And then when it comes out someday, which it eventually will, that he was a John for child sex trafficking, then what? I mean, then you're going to hear him say, he was a victim, CJ. He thought he was buying an adult hooker.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, come on. It'll never satisfy you enough, will it? And you know what it is? I think honestly, Matt, I think a lot of people, like, I attach pride to my vote for Jo Jorgensen. I'm proud that I'm going to be voting for her and that I'm going to be able to cast my vote, even if it is a losing vote, even if the system continues on and, for all that's fucked up worth that it is. But they attach pride with it. They attach words like patriotism. They attach words like America. A vote for Trump is a vote for America. They're doing it on the Biden side. A vote for Biden is a vote for hope and change again. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And then like I was talking about my dumbass friends that I know, and it's like, well, you know, if you don't vote for Trump, then you're a liberal. You're a liberal, Matt. And it's like, well, what's your definition of a liberal? Did you know, like, the founding fathers were defined as liberals versus conservatives, where the conservatives just said, yeah, let's keep on kissing the ring. And the liberals were the ones that said, no, fuck that. We're taking this shit down.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Did
if
you know
you can't even properly define, you're just trying to throw it like names around, like go straight for the ad hominem arguments. It's like, if you can't even properly, and that's what I'm so grateful I found, like Adam, and building up like Socratic dialogue and you know, asking the questions and trying to get people to see that it's like, you're missing the bigger picture. Like,
yeah, don't just fall for the bullshit. Yeah. I mean, when I started to realize that the red team was just too occultic for me was when it was, well, we're taking the red pill and now we're going to put out all these documentaries and propaganda pieces like Shadowgate, which is like, again, it's a propo piece. I'm not going to say Millie Weaver is some terrible human being and her husband's bad. No, they're just Trump supporters. They're Trumpophiles. It's okay. Listen, Trumpophiles, it's okay to be who you are in your own skin. If you're proud to vote for Trump, fine, so be it. But just don't pretend like what we're saying is just conspiracy I hate it when they're like, Bill Clinton, pedophile. Look at all this evidence. And you're like, yeah, Trump, pedophile. Look at all this evidence. But no, that's a conspiracy. Like, no, he's
fighting the deep state, CJ. He's fighting the deep state.
See, again,
no, he is deep state.
Yeah, see, and that's what we're saying is at some point your argument just becomes a regurgitated narrative where it's not your own think. And you don't own your own thoughts anymore. And you're not that free thinker you claim to be. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with the psychology of wanting to fit into a social group. Dude, for example, I liked the Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, I got a little tattoo there, like I liked being a part of that, feeling of belonging to a group bigger than myself. And their wins were my wins and their losses were my losses. And we did it together. We won last night, or we lost last night. We want to belong. And I think that's what a lot of it has to do. I think a lot of it has to do with they want to belong to something bigger than themselves. And as long as they're like, well, I mean, everybody that with a blue check mark that I respect is saying that this is a lie. So I can live in that comfortable lie too, and they'll cradle me in, and they'll fight all these bad guys like CJ and Matt who are going to sit there for an hour and a half and talk about how our boy Trump's a pedophile. But,
but as long as they don't respond, I won't respond because, and look at them with their small viewer count, and they'll do everything to just. I had one person go, "Oh, have fun with your 6 viewers tomorrow, CJ," and it's like, yeah, but the show I produce is pretty up there now. I mean, like, I put some work in. Like, I mean, it might not be my show, but I mean, I'm a part of it, and I've helped put that work in. I'm proud of that. I can click the link and join the screen anytime.
I could say that the more you do this, the more viewers you will get because it is quality discussion. I mean, you have
I open it to the world, Matt.
Exactly. Yeah. You got a problem? Click the link. Come on, talk about it. Don't have a problem? Just want to hang out? Click the link. Come, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a great platform.
If there's something I say where you're like, "Fuck you, CJ," you think if there was somebody watching right now who's like, "Fuck this CJ guy. Have you ever heard of him? Enter, send into the group." I'm like, wait, before we waste all the time doing this, and this, send, wait for response. Like, no, I go live almost every fucking morning with a goddamn cup of coffee and say, "Hey, let's have a conversation." You don't get the excuse anymore.
No, and I don't know if he's still listening, but like I saw DeAndre in the chat back there. He came over from Adam's show to check you out this morning.
Yeah, DeAndre.
The more people start to recognize your name, I mean, the more people are going to listen to what you have to say, man. I mean,
but me,
I know
man,
that's not what you're after. I know that's not what you're after.
I'm like the guy who's like, "Hey, man, I do my own show because one, I'm running for office. You see the District 23 logo running for Senate, and I believe my speech while I'm running for office publicly should be public for everyone, open for everyone. I believe that personally, so I live that and I do that. But when and to be available as well, and to hear where people disagree with me, but where I absolutely I don't do this for the views. I could have 0 people watching me. I'm still talking the same talk. I'm still discussing it as if it's not for like a live audience. It's just for me to vent, me to talk, me to have my freedom of speech, and if views come along with that, cool, but I'm not fake. I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and go, "All right, guys, my favorite thing to watch some people, I'm not going to start talking until there's 25 people in my thing and everybody clicks share and subscribe." Like, fuck you. Like, I'm not that type of guy. I'm like, I'll talk to 0 people and have a better conversation than you talking to 25 people whining on your shit. Like, or my favorite ones, they're the Trumpophiles who will go, "He's got 0 views. He's a loser." And it's like, yeah, but this loser will show up at your rallies. This loser will run for office. This loser will make a hell of a fucking stink in your group. I promise you. And you are by far the biggest idiot I fucking know. Yeah, but you know me, don't you? Like, I've always said this. I will make. I when I first started, I'm like, yeah. I used to have people that come on and be like, "CJ, you've done a lot of broadcasts in your life. You don't and ah. You just get right to the point." And I feel like such an idiot when I'm on there live, and I'm like, "Listen, you come on a broadcast with me, I promise you, by the end of it, you look like the sane one, and people will then go, man, oh, that mad guy, he was pretty legit on his. I should follow his Twitter. He's got that libertarian train going on. Like, compared to CJ, that dude is like legitly calm, cool, and collected. CJ's a bundle of wires waiting to just yell at the screen. I mean, it is, and I see DeAndre says venting is good. I should do it more. Yes, I vent.
DeAndre, click the link, join the show. We'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, man. I'd love to know how you ended up finding us. Like, I just remember your name popped up like, "Hi, I'm new to this," and I was like, "Oh, cool, new viewer." We started putting your comments on the screen. Now you start watching. Like,
well, him and Gray State, or now I think Gray State changed his name to I'm a Statist, but him and those two have been, pretty much daily on Adam's show. So, I mean,
yeah. And again, I think that has to do with the fact that we're putting in that honest work. And I would hope that DeAndre would validate it if I'm right, that, we're putting out fair content in a discussion that isn't just a one-sided argument. We're trying to grow a conversation. I mean, I love producing the show. I wish that we were number one and we were top of the pyramid, but we got to put that work in. I mean, and I think we're going to see, 26.5 million impressions on YouTube is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
5 million views in a month is nothing to scoff at. This is us dedicated. And we knew in the beginning, we said, if we continue to just put out consistent content, eventually we're going to find like-minded people that are going to enjoy our content. And that's where I was going to go at, Matt. I don't like being the guy on screen, man. Like I would much rather sit here and talk to 3 people just shooting the shit with no problem whatsoever. But then you get on Adam's show and there's 700 views for that show, and you're like, the bigger the group, man, the more pressure I feel, and like I
get super nervous. Like the couple of times that he's brought me on, it's like, hi, I'm Matt. Hi, I don't know what to do with my hands. I like freedom, Adam.
I mean, I just want to be free, and I want to live in a world where my children and my family and my nieces and my nephews and everybody I care about isn't like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I just
don't want to pay taxes, and I want machine guns, and I don't want pedophiles in office.
I just want my gay friends to have machine guns at their wedding, protecting their marijuana plants. Like, yeah, I get it. And you know what? There would be people that would hear us say that and go, machine guns, gays, marijuana plants. What? What is this party of heathens? Heathens! They are heathens. Yeah. Oh.
I always like trying to make the border wall argument with my friends, and it's like, what do we need to?
Wall argument?
Okay, so number one question. All right, why do you think we need a border wall? Well, because the illegals are coming over here and taking all our free shit that we're giving away, and it's like, and they're not paying taxes. Okay, well, no one should pay taxes, so moot point there. It's like, all right, but they're criminals and they're smuggling drugs in. All right, well, if drugs were legal, there would be no need for cartels to smuggle them across the border. Another moot point, and it's like, but then we'd be overcrowded. Well, we are already overcrowded in our urban areas. So again, argument there.
In urban areas, but we could fit everybody on this planet into Texas. Like, come on, man. Like, we've got room for homesteading. We've got room for community development. We got room to spread out. But again, urbanization and central planning has put us into a statist form of mind where I can't leave my state, like California, soon to be a penalty. If you are a California resident and you want to leave California, you have to pay California to leave.
Because they're so dependent on your tax dollars.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, even to renounce your citizenship. I love these Trumpophiles who are like, if you don't love it, leave it. Hold on. Let's see here. If you don't love it, leave it is one of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard in my life. How much does it cost? Oh, shit. I didn't set the speaker up. How much does it cost to renounce U.S. citizenship? How much do you think it costs, Matt, to renounce your U.S. citizenship?
$2,500, isn't it? I'm sorry if I busted that.
No. 450 to 2350, more than 20 times the average cost of high income. So it's it's a lengthy legal process. It's not just like love it and leave it. It's you have to go through bureaucracy and you have to pay a fee to renounce your citizenship. So all these stupid fucking Trumpophiles are like, if you don't love our authoritarian sex trafficking government, you can leave. Like, but your authoritarian sex trafficking government is going to charge me a fee with a lengthy legal bureaucracy process in order to do so. Yeah. So that's why I find these love it or leave it idiots are just, they're stupid. You know what? Hey, my name's
nothing against Merle Haggard.
But again, and just for the record, it's $23.50. But how much do you think because it involves a lengthy legal process with involving paperwork, interviews, and money. So it's not just that, like the 2,350 is just like the beginning. That doesn't include any attorneys that might need to get involved because it is a legal process. I mean, so if any of you Trumpophiles want to send me $10,000, I can't guarantee that I will renounce my citizenship, but I would just hope you're that stupid, and I would leave the country on a nice vacation. And I'll leave it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, the argument is, well, where would you rather be, CJ? Well, actually, there are many countries that you can go to if you have a residual income. Like disabled veterans do this all the time. You would be amazed how many disabled veterans are like fucked up in war. Their brain noodles jacked. They can't hold jobs that are of everyday 9 to 5 tax wage slave jobs. I mean, they're physically disabled, and they move to a country where our dollar is like gold, and they literally live in mansions, have housekeepers. I mean, sex work is legal. I mean, they can, and of age women, of course, I would hope. But again, you legalize sex work. There is no child sex trap. Well, I wouldn't say there isn't, but it certainly it allows there to be a accountability in that area of life, in that area of I mean, again, I can hear the Christian conservatives going, this is all heathen filth talk that we can't say at church on Sunday. But you see what I'm saying? We can have accountability. We can have a more openness about.
Yeah. I think at the time that you legalize it, it kind of prescribes malice to anybody that's like trafficking children. It's like automatically, it's not like, oh, it was an accident, I didn't know she was underage. At the point where it's legal and you can ID someone and say, like, here's my here's my hooker badge. Yeah.
Here's my hooker ID. I went to the government and they said, you know, as much as I'm like, but at least they're doing the one thing that's currently not happening, and that's verifying the age of somebody. And then then these Johns now can become informants, where they can be like, hey, I walked into this hotel room. I asked for this girl's hooker registration. She said she didn't have it. She looked all nervous and scared and young. And I was able to call the police, and now the police came. She verified she's actually 16 years old. We just that potential John that was going to go sit in jail for a day just saved a child's life.
Yeah, he's going to get a medal and a coupon book for like 5 free blowjobs or something.
There's going to be like a bunch of hookers that are like, wait, you just saved a kid's life? This next one's on me.
Yeah.
So why you and me, again, Matt, do you claim to be the smartest man on the planet before we go any further? Because if you are, Dean, I didn't know. But I don't claim to be the smartest man on the planet.
Sometimes I feel that way, but then I have conversations like this one, and it reminds me that there's at least one other person that's as smart as me.
No, see, it's the same as I feel the same way. So I go, all right, so we're not the smartest guys on the planet. But if we can come up with this, what makes you think that lawmakers, our government, can't? Well, that's because they know our government is built around child sex trafficking. They know it. The attorneys know it. The courts know it. Judges, everybody involved knows it. It's just that the regurgitated Trumpophile pedocrat narrative hasn't gotten mainstream yet. And, I mean, like I said, I felt like today was such a slow news day that we could have this conversation and we could discuss these implications of what these people are regurgitating. Because by voting for Trump, a vote for Trump and a vote for Biden is a vote for child sex trafficking.
Well, in 2016, I said a vote for Trump is a vote for Trump. It's not a vote for the Republican Party. It's not a vote for America. It's simply voting for him to better himself and his business. And that's why I voted for Gary Johnson in 2016. It wasn't really about any policy. I was just like, this guy's fake as hell. He's only going to prop himself up. He's going to come out of here even better than he was when he came in. I thought he was only going to look out for himself, and he wasn't really looking out for what America needs to make America great again, you know. But I never expected it would be this bad by the end of 4 years when we're talking about the probability of him being publicly identified as a pedophile.
Well, again, it's allegedly right now because we don't know for
I said
Trump.
the probability of him
Yeah,
being
yeah.
publicly.
The
Yeah,
more likely than not, but for legal purposes.
right.
Oh man. Well, Matt,
Because
I think
unlike him, we believe in due process.
right. We believe in due process first every time. But no, I mean, here we are affording the president of the United States something he would not afford us. Wow. Crazy. Well, Matt, anything else you got to say before we get going? I feel like we could talk about child sex trafficking until we're blue in the face.
Yeah, no, we're good, man. Go ahead and get the digital studio of freedom open.
As you know, all right, sir. Thanks for joining me. As always, you're welcome on anytime, and we'll see you over there, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. Matt Baxley, everybody. Great guy. Highly recommend you follow him on Twitter as he is joining the No Libertarian Under 1K challenge. I should really get into that myself, but I just don't use Twitter. I don't tweet. I feel like it's just I don't know. Either way, let's see here. DeAndre took Don. How do you say your name? I've always said this. I butcher your name, and I feel terrible for it. But I see your comments here. You were a Bernie bro in 2016. Yeah, I see you there. I've got a friend that was a Bernie bro, and I'm trying to convert him to Mama Joe. Maybe I should send him your way. All right, guys, I got to go open up the digital studio of freedom. Adam versus the man today. 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. And again, if you're a Trumpophile and you're watching this, if you made it all the way this far, which I highly doubt. I highly doubt you have the capability of listening to a conversation this far in. But if you did, I will be live tomorrow, hopefully with a good chunk of news. And again, I just felt like today would be a great reminder to let everybody know that, Epstein didn't kill himself, and Trump was most likely a John to a child sex trafficking ring recorded by Ghislaine Maxwell. Have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.